I'm here at Value Village and it's 30% off Women's Clothing Day. See, I'm at Value Village. And I'm going to see if I can get some shorts and maybe some new tights for my trip to California. When I was down there last year, I left a couple pairs of shorts there because they got a little bit worn out. And so I'm just going to see what they have. I'm having my second roll up the rim to win coffee. So hopefully I win something. And yesterday I went to Value Village and I spent $140 on clothes. And I probably didn't need to get that much, but I haven't spent money on clothes in quite a long time. And my jeans that I wear, they seem like they're stretched out from being washed too much because I wear them a lot. And so they're just kind of like baggy and loose even when I take them out of the dryer. So I pretty much got the same jeans that I already wear at Value Village for $7. And so I got two pairs and they're pretty much the same, but that way when one's being washed, I still have another one if I need it. And then I got a dark pair of jeans and I got other stuff. I'll show it later. But I was thinking, oh, did I need to buy that much clothes? But then I was thinking too that at least it's something that doesn't have anything to do with bipolar disorder and mental illness. It's something kind of fun and something that's a necessity anyway. I was hoping to get some more summery clothes for California, but there weren't really shorts or anything. And I got a few short sleeve things, but mostly I could have looked at tank tops. I didn't look at tank tops, but mostly I got like long sleeve things. And considering my goal is to live in a warm climate most of the time, that's not really conducive, but at the same time, it'll be still cold when I come back from California here. And even in California in February, it is kind of cold. It's cold at night. People that are acclimated, I found they wear jeans and a sweater in like May and like a jacket, when people used to cold would probably be in shorts and flip-flops and a tank top. So I learned to wear long sleeve stuff when I was down there. Plus it was cold. You wake up in the morning, it's cold. Late at night or even early evening, once the sun goes down, it gets really cold. So it will be handy. I did get some tights, like workout tights, and I think that's good because I do want to start being more active, so wearing active wear might help to promote that. But I will share what I got later. And like I mentioned, I do want to start making a couple of videos that I'm not in them and just sharing some wellness tools. And so I'll probably make a video about this shopping process because I was able to get quite a lot of things for pretty inexpensive. Some things were more on the pricey side, but I have a certain process that I use to filter things out, and the items were pretty much in flawless condition. So to get a pair of Lululemon 3/4 length shorts that are perfect condition, it was like $14. That's cheap. It's more expensive for a item at a thrift store, but yeah, so I'm going to share that process. I'm going to share setting up darkness therapy, setting up my tanning bed, which is something most people probably don't have, but certain things like that, adding more content to my blog and focusing more on sharing in real time than this process that I've been doing that'll probably be more a personal journal of sorts. So yeah, I have lots on my checklist to do. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling like I can get a lot done. I might start setting up my office at my new place a little bit today. First I have to clean the floor. The floors are really gross. I walked around on the floors for a few hours the other day and my socks were black. Oh yeah, and today is my first day without Sam E, so I'm going to try to pay attention to that. I made a list in my computer to write down the days that I run out of stuff, so then if something starts to go weird, I can look and see, well, what did I run out of lately, or what did I add lately? I wasn't doing that from the beginning with the dates, but I did put them in my iCal so I could go back and do that and have a summary page. And then tomorrow is the last day I take magnolia bark, and then I will be out of that. And it's not something I'm going to replace right away. So, yeah, taking a few less supplements and seeing what happens. Lately, I've been doing some blogging, and I've been doing some video making where I'm not in the video, so I might be comfortable sharing that video sooner rather than later. Whereas these ones where I've been talking to myself for forever, for over a year and a half, I think, I don't really want to share those at this point. But I was thinking there's a lot of things I could share if I'm not on the video. So I made one about brown rice, switching from white rice to brown rice. And I made one about my Value Village shop and sharing what I got and why and the process, and framing it in a way of inspiring people to look a bit better and thus feel a bit better when they can. And it's not a necessary thing, but it's just something I wanted to share because I was doing that shopping trip anyway. And I'm also starting to make a video series on setting up my space as sort of a dream center, creative, meaning making, wellness, active space. And I did a video on setting up total darkness therapy like this, setting it up at my new space, and stuff like that. And I edited those videos, and it's interesting how during those videos I say a lot. I think it's because I'm trying to speak in one topic and say everything about it, not forget anything, but I say a lot. Whereas in these videos, the whole time I've been speaking to myself, I think I've said twice, and I didn't edit it out. All the bits I edit out, I was making mistakes speaking the sentences or something, but not saying So it was interesting that I say a lot when doing these videos that are supposed to be kind of practical about a certain topic. And I realized that spending $140 on clothes was good in a way because it's something that has nothing to do with bipolar disorder. And I did a blog post, and I don't know if I talked about it on video, how I calculated all my expenditures last year, the bigger-ish ones that weren't toiletries and food, and 80% of that I spent on something to do with mental health. Whether it was some kind of therapy or some kind of vitamin or something. And 20% was on something non-related to mental health, and most of it was clustered in an area of time when I was starting to probably be kind of hypomanic. It didn't feel hypomanic, but that's just usually when I'm feeling the best, and then I sort of start to schedule fun activities like going to a concert or something, which I don't do very often. And it was also interesting to edit videos because I haven't edited videos in months. I used to edit every single video I made. But since I've been struggling since the crisis, at least October 15th, I haven't been editing them. I haven't been making as many either. So that was like 3.5 months ago. So I have no idea what I've been talking about, but mainly about my struggles and just whatever's happening on the day. And I'm still doing all the Peter Smith balancing brain chemistry stuff. And I need to start wearing these blue blocking glasses because I'm not sleeping as much. I was sleeping 14 hours a night for quite a long time, most often. So that would keep me in the darkness because I have the darkness therapy. I said, it's going to rub off onto these videos. Oh well. I think I've caught the disease. So, yeah, now I'm sleeping less, so would be good to start wearing these more. I'm supposed to wear these plus sleep in darkness for a total of 14 hours. So sleep 8 hours and wear these for 4, which is only 12, but it doesn't have to be 14 if I'm not in a complete crisis. So the other day I did a little exercise that Stephen Kotler sent out through his Flow Genome Project email list that I'm on, and it was about flow and stuff. So he said to write down 25 things that are curiosities that would be something we'd spend our spare time reading about or spend a weekend learning about, and then find out where they intersect. And after that, I can't remember, but most of mine are around being outside nature, being in the body, and technology stuff related to sharing. So hopefully I can spend some time on that. I would like to find some hikes and get comfortable hiking and being in forests, not the same one all the time. I watched a 40-minute documentary on wild edibles. It would be cool to know something about that and forage for food. So that's an example where something overlaps. Going for a hike and foraging for wild edibles at the same time is being outside, getting exercise, being in the body, being in nature, being in the forest. So a bunch of them overlap that way. I also want to learn how to go camping. I say these things and then oftentimes I end up sitting down at a computer machinating. So I'm hoping not to do that this year. I'm starting to set up my space and I'm going to devote most of it to body-oriented stuff and then have a room that's the resource papers room, and hopefully set up a bunch of binders with those clear pages and put the resources in, pretending like someone might be coming in to explore them, and then sharing that process in those videos that I will share because I won't be in them. So if I ever do share this part and it seems like, oh, all of a sudden I'm not sharing as much, well, it's probably on a different playlist of videos sharing the process that I'm not in the video, so I was more comfortable sharing it. And that's what I'm doing with the blog, sharing this process of doing the Peter Smith thing along the way, and then other things that are a bit more practical, less ranty. So hoping to build that skill of being a little bit more practical and less ranty, and more wellness and less being mad at the mental health system. So I think I'm kind of over that, which is good. Took a while. I want to be a sort of wellness enthusiast and just keep going.